Ah, yes. Dating simulators. One of the most parodied genres in gaming today. And I mean a lot of parodies. Like a lot of parodies. An absurd amount of parodies, in fact. So, why is the dating simulator genre so parodied nowadays? Every big company or indie dev seems to be trying to make their own parody or twist on the indie game genre. We're talking absurdly specific subversions like pigeons or horror plots, talking animals, you name it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we here at GameEcon Explained are going to peel back the truth, the curtain, and reveal why these games get parodied so much. And to do so, we have to go back to the beginning. In 1976, Pong was made. Alright, maybe not that far, actually. But we have to go back to the beginning. Let's fast forward to 2011. Dating simulator like Tokimeki Memorial, True Love 95, and others were huge in Japan. They were serious and detailed games where characters had depth, choices mattered, and there were branching storylines with narrative weight. But here's the problem, most of these games never came to the West. Localization was either non existent or terrible. Like, really terrible. You had to rely on fan translations that were most likely obscure, buggy, and often didn't capture the subtlety of the writing. So, Western players had basically no exposure of the genre. Now we get to Hato Moa, a little known manga artist who had never made a game before. In fact, she wasn't a veteran Otome player. She barely played dating simulators at all. But she liked pigeons. Yes, pigeons. And she wanted to make an April Fool's joke. The result? Hatoful Boyfriend, where you romance pigeons in a high school setting. And let me tell you guys, this game blew up. PewDiePie played it, memes happened. The absurdity of romancing pigeons combined with over-the-top writing meant to parody Otome tropes made it go viral. Here's the key here. Hatoful was a parody of a genre the creator didn't even deeply know. And because Western audiences didn't have experience with Otome games, they took Hatoful at face value. Suddenly, absurd writing and pigeons were the image of dating sims in the West. And of course, in 2014, Devolver Digital and Mediatonic officially patched it for Steam, legitimizing it as a dating sim for Western audiences. Now, we get to 2017. Little known indie devs, Team Salvato, releases Doki Doki Literature Club. DDLC starts like a standard school-based dating sim, you know, all the tropes, the cute girls, literature club. It turns into a psychological horror experience. I don't have to explain this game to you. But here's the kicker. Salvato, Team Salvato, they didn't play traditional dating simulators either. They drew on surface level anime and visual novel tropes to construct a fictional dating sim, not the actual genre, but the genre as perceived by Western audiences. So DDLC is a deconstruction, but it's a deconstruction of a version of dating sims that only existed in the minds of its creators. So this is where it gets wild. Every parody inspired by Hatoful and DDLC aren't parodying or deconstructing dating simulators. They're riffing on a dating simulator that doesn't exist. Neither of the two biggest dating simulator developers, or well, games in the West, they never played, or well, never were familiar with dating simulators. We're parodying something that doesn't exist. And this extends to all the parodies of dating simulators. Indie games, memes, viral content, YouTube parodies, absurd romance simulators, all inspired by a genre that Western audiences never actually played. We're parodying a dating simulator that doesn't exist. So here's what we've gone through. Yes, we start with the original one, right? Let's say Tokimeki Memorial. Now we have a Western, or well, not Western, stuff like Hatoful Boyfriend comes out, which creates this Western interpretation of dating simulators. What people think the genre is. Now we go to Doki Doki Literature Club, right? Doki Doki Literature Club is subconsciously, popularized because it parodies, deconstructs anime tropes and visual novel tropes despite never actually playing said visual novels and despite not having played said dating simulators before. They use the tropes to make a fake dating simulator that turns into a psychological horror experience. We are now at the third stage where we take the game, we make a fictional parody of that game in our mind to make a parody of that fictional parody of the game. And now we have all of these games inspired by these games, inspired by a fictional genre that doesn't exist, inspired by this game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 4 stages removed from the original dating simulators. So, why are dating simulators parodied so much? It's because Western players and creators are riffing on something that doesn't exist. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached peak irony poisoning. A genre is parodied, reinterpreted, and memed into existence without anyone ever actually engaging with its original source material. Like, it's absurd. We have parodied the parodied of a fictional perception of a parody, and that's unreal. So guys, if you like this video, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscription, give me a share, send me some hate comments, pop me in my email in my about me section, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.